as promised by President Rodrigo Roa Duterte on his first State of the Nation address, or SONA, the Department of Finance submitted to Congress a comprehensive tax reform program to finance and sustain the country's developmental program. First in the list, in Package 1, is the lowering of personal income tax and taxes that affect personal consumptions. This package outlines the reduction in personal income tax, but involves also an increase in consumption taxes. Join us today as we discuss Comprehensive Tax Reform Program Package 1 as submitted for enactment into law in the House of Representatives Ways and Means Committee. I am Dr. Victor B. Endriga, and this is TaxTV, a taxpayer's guide to Philippine taxation. Tunay na pagbabago o real positive change is the promise and commitment of the Duterte Administration to the Filipino people. This includes, among others, more inclusive growth manifested by a comfortable life of all. Sustaining real positive change for one generation can eradicate extreme poverty and allow our country to join the ranks of advanced nations by 2040. This is a dream that all Filipinos share and aspire for. To sustainably finance these investments, a tax reform for acceleration and inclusion is proposed. The tax reform program envisions to create a tax system that is simpler, fairer, and more efficient, characterized by low rates and a broad base that promotes investments, job creation, and poverty reduction. This will be complemented by major tax administration reforms in both the Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Bureau of Customs. In addition to the tax policies and administration reforms, budget reforms are being pursued to promote spending transparency and efficiency. The tax reform program consists of 4 packages, with each package balancing trade-off and helping to ensure timely enactment. The first package, which is the subject of this episode, seeks to lower personal income taxes while broadening the VAT base and adjust the excise taxes. Relaxation of the bank secrecy law and an absolute tax amnesty are also being proposed to accompany this package. Key features of the bill: adjustment of the proposed income tax brackets to correct income bracket creeping, reduction of the minimum rate to 25% over time, except for the highest income earners, to maintain progressivity. Shift to a modified gross system to simplify the personal income tax system or PIT system. Revenue losses from PIT reform will be offset by the following: expansion of the VAT base by limiting exemptions of raw food and other necessities. increasing excise tax rates on all petroleum products to address external policies, restructuring and increasing tax on automobiles to mitigate the impact of the tax increases on the poor and low-income households, earmarking the highly targeted subsidies is proposed to fully protect the poorest 50% of households and partially protect the working class. This is TaxTV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Tax reform program would update the country's two-decade-old income tax system used in determining taxes imposed on the public by raising the figure or amounts reflective of modern economic realities and inflation rates. An estimated 4.6 million low-income earners will be tax-exempt should the new tax reform bill become a law. The old system favored the rich more than the poor because of defects in our tax laws and the way we impose and administer taxation. This is the injustice that the proposed bill appeared to change to favor the poor, while lowering the 32% to 25%. However, the ultra-rich earning 5 million and above, the rate will be raised to 35%, while those earning 2.5 million pesos will see the rate reduced to 30%. There will also be a shift to modified gross income tax to avoid the complexities of reckoning with various types of deductions. Provided that after 2019, the taxable income levels in the above-mentioned schedules shall be adjusted once every 5 years through rules and regulations issued by the Secretary of Finance upon recommendation of the Commission after considering, among others, the effect on the same of the 5-year cumulative to inflation rate. For married individuals, husband and wife, subject to the provision of Section 51B hereof, shall compute separately their individual income tax based on their respective total taxable income. Also proposed is expanded coverage of the value-added tax or VAT by reducing the exemptions. Among the affected laws are the VAT exemptions being enjoyed by the senior citizens and by the persons with disability. The following laws or provisions of law is hereby repealed, and the persons and or transactions affected shall be made subject to the VAT to the provisions of Title IV of the NIRC of 1997 as amended. Section 4 of Republic Act 994 or the expanded Senior Citizens Act of 2010 pertaining to VAT exemptions. Section 32A of Republic Act 7277 as amended by Republic Act 10754 or the Magna Carta for persons with disability. The excise taxes on oil products will be raised while those on the other vehicles will be restructured to raise them for automobiles, but not for buses, jeepneys, and cargo trucks. The tax reform program will fund government infrastructure, education, health, and social protection programs of the administration. This is TaxTV. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Joining us today is Assistant Secretary and Official Spokesperson of the Department of Finance, Attorney Paola Alvarez. Good morning, Attorney. What's the mission, vision of the Department of Finance?
Okay, so for now, sir, for the Duterte administration, our mission and vision is to equalize the tax burden in order to uplift the lower portion of our wage earners and our middle-income people to, by 2022 sana, we will be a high middle-income earner society. And maybe by 2040, we could be like a higher income society like Korea and Japan.
Well, based on that mission vision, I think you also have to, one of those under the SONA is to lower the income tax bracket,
Yes,
the personal and
Yes,
corporate
sir.
income tax.
Yes, sir.
I think that's the first thing that, and also streamlining of the
Yes,
systems being
yes,
done. That's part of the Department of Finance mission vision.
Yes, sir. Of course, because the President has a 10-point economic agenda,
Yeah.
our goal is to increase revenue for everything at about 1 trillion a year in order to pay for the 10-point economic agenda that our President aims for. So aside from that, we want to have a more targeted approach, for example, in streamlining it. Right now, we want to have a more efficient tax collection rate.
Yeah.
So we created actually an anti-red tape SAR that would streamline the process in order to reduce requirements. And we also want to simplify the tax so that when you file your taxes, you don't have, because most of our citizens have a hard time with the deductions, with the inclusions, how do they list their items to be taxed. Now, we want to simplify that in order to encourage them to file their taxes more efficiently and more truthfully as well.
Do we really need this tax reform at this point in time?
Yes, sir, because our tax system, if you would look at it, our brackets are very outdated.
Yeah.
It does not account for the inflation, and of course, for example, our current tax rate, the bracket is 500,000.
Yeah.
So the value of 500,000 when it was created is not the same value as it is today. So we have to adjust it in order to account for the inflation.
I think the tax bracketing before was 7 brackets,
Yes,
and the first 4 brackets are already useless because the
Yes,
minimum
sir.
wage earners earned around 141,000 on a monthly basis,
Yes, sir.
on a yearly basis. So that would fall already on the 5th bracket. But under the proposed system, I think the bracketing is much
simpler.
better than
Yes, sir.
only there are some contradictions because the president said is going to lower the personal income tax from 32
To
to
25.
around 25. But when it came out, it's now 35. What would you say about that?
Actually, sir, if you look at the current
Yeah.
tax system, the lowest is 10,000.
Yeah.
And then in excess, you tax it 5% plus the excess over. So for our proposal now, for the first year of implementation, it will be 0 to 250,000 is tax-free. And then what we will tax for the first bracket is only the excess over 250,000. So for example, you are earning 260,000 annually, the 250,000 is exempt, the 10,000 will be taxed at the first bracket, which is 20% for the first year of implementation. Then for the next year, our proposal is to lower it to 15 and then adjust everything.
So it would be adjusted on a yearly basis up to...
Not on a yearly basis, but for the proposal we have for the first year and the second year.
First and second only.
But for the DOF will have the power every 5 years to review if we need to account for inflation, if we need to adjust it again. For the 35%, that will be for those earning 5 million annually and above, which we think is The idea is to shift the burden of taxation to the ones earning more and to lessen it for the ones earning in the middle income bracket.
So lessen the bracket of the poor and
Yes, sir.
maybe tax heavily on the rich
Yes, sir.
and rich and famous.
Pay your taxes on time. A friendly reminder from the city government of Imus. We would like to thank Star Express Apertel, located at 139 Matahimik Street, Central UP Village, Quezon City, with telephone number 433-5605. Big Apple Express Spa, located at upper parking levels SM City, Marikina. For inquiries, contact 400-3254 or text 0915-879-7524. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Bagong araw, bagong Emperador Gold. May sarap na para lang sa'yo. Ang sarap ng Emperador Gold. Lasapin ang sarap sa gintong tagumpay. Emperador Gold.
Now, I think the tax proposal, the tax reform program, do you think it is just, equitable, and fair to our taxpayers?
Yes, sir. We think our proposal is just and equitable. And not only that, it is also more efficient and simplified because we lowered the brackets,
Yeah.
and the rates are easier to understand how you will apply it. So we think it's also just and equitable because it is progressive in a way that we empower our middle income earners in order to uplift them and to shift the burden to the higher income earners
Yeah.
in order to even out the great disparity in the wealth in our country.
Under the new tax reform program, how many brackets would there be?
Our proposed bracket at the meantime is around 5.
5 brackets only. So
Yes,
from
sir.
7, it would now be around 5 brackets
Yes, sir.
only.
It's 20, 25, I
30,
think 30 and
and then
then
35.
35, I think. So
Ah.
around.
So, and I saw also that the highest bracket would now be 5 million.
Yes, sir, 5 million and above. So
Wow.
we coin them as the ultra rich because if you are earning around 5 million a year and above, then that's when you are taxed more heavily. Because right now our tax system, those earning 500,000
Yeah.
and above is the one in the highest bracket. So they share the same bracket with those earning 5 million.
Yeah.
So we think that's very disproportionate.
I think in one of the interviews, Secretary Dominguez said that more than 4.6 million low-income earners
Yes, sir.
would be affected by this.
Yes, sir. Because based on our numbers from
Yeah.
the BIR, around 1.7 people are the minimum wage earners, and the remaining 3 million are the middle income earners. So they will be the ones who will actually benefit.
Now, what would happen now for the minimum wage earners? I think because they are clamoring that they are exempted by law under Republic Act 9504. So these are the minimum brackets.
Yes, sir.
They would not be paying any taxes anymore.
Yes, sir. Actually, our minimum wage earners right now are exempted.
Yeah.
And in our proposal, they are still exempted because they will fall under the 250,000
250,000 bracket.
Yes, sir. Because if you will look at it, the minimum wage right now is around 12,000 a month,
Yeah.
12 to 15,000. So for our proposal, if you divide 250,000, that's around 20,000 a month.
Yeah.
So it's well within the.
So it's still okay.
Yes, sir. They are still tax exempted.
Under this new proposed tax reform that the President has been clamoring for, does it include indexation or automatic adjustment of the rates?
Yes, sir. We will be including indexation, and it will be based on inflation rates, and of course there will be limits on how we can index and account for inflation.
So this anyway, the new bracket is already quite high.
Yes.
It would be 35 anyway. It would be affecting all those rates. There is also one clamor that I think you will be removing all those exemptions. They would be now included to be taxed, unlike before it was exempted, like Christmas bonus, those other fringe benefits that they receive would now be included in the gross.
Actually, sir, if you look at it, we just simplified the system.
The system.
Because before, they are not included, but if you look at the base, it's 10,000. The base is 10,000, and then this is annually, and then the excess over that is, if you would look at the code, it is
the tax bracketing.
tax bracketing is 5% of the excess.
Yeah, 5%.
Now,
The first bracket.
yes, so it is if you add all the 13th month pay, the bonuses.
Yeah.
Those fall, you will get a bigger exemption because, for example, you are earning, let's say, 20,000 plus the bonuses.
Yeah.
So the exemption would now be 250,000 per year.
Yeah.
So it's a bigger chunk comparatively to the exemptions
Compared to the
before.
previous
Yes,
law that
sir.
we had.
Yes, sir. So,
Because under the old law, it's only
Yes, sir.
141,000 that would
yes,
be exempted.
sir.
But
Yes,
here,
sir. It's
even though maybe,
250,000. Because even if you add it all up, the
That
whole
would be less.
Yes, sir. The 250,000 will be deducted. So, for example, you are earning after taxes. If you even include the bonuses, around 300,000
Yeah.
pesos, 50,000 will be taxed at 20%.
Yeah,
For the
yeah,
whole
yeah.
year already.
Yeah.
So that is smaller. So technically, you are only being taxed for 50,000, not the whole 300.
So this is really very good for
Yes, sir.
especially the poor of the poorest.
Yes, sir.
They would be enjoying this 250,000 exemptions.
sir.
Unlike before, it's only very, very small
Yes,
chunk,
sir.
around 140,000.
Yes, sir.
When you add all of those additional bonuses that they get from their employer,
Yes, sir.
still there would be
It's still-
classified
yes,
as
sir.
exempted. I think the President also included, do you think this would be certified as priority? By the President?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because part of his economic agenda
Yeah.
is to actually lower the income tax and the corporate income tax. But at the same time, we will be giving more targeted subsidies and for social and economic welfare development programs.
Do you think this could be implemented by the year 2017 or 2018 yet?
Our proposal actually for Congress is that it will be implemented on 2018.
Yeah,
'Cause it's,
2018, not 17.
No, sir, because it's mid-year and you can't, it will be hard for the administratively wise because some already had their deductions,
Yeah,
some already
yeah.
paid their taxes. So we have to have at least a year to create the system how to adjust properly.
So really people have to wait for another year so that they could get the benefits
Yes,
from the new reform package of the Duterte administration.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We would like to thank Aquabest. Have peace of mind in every drop. Sa Aquabest, kampante ka. 8 Waves Water Park and Hotel, Bulacan's first name in water parks. Reyes Haircutters, your Filipino family salon. Stay tuned. We'll be
Effective partnership between Congress and the Executive Department has always been crucial in moving the country's development agenda forward. Today, a window of opportunity exists to take the country to the next level of development. This window of opportunity, characterized by strong macroeconomic fundamentals and global recognition from the success of the country and a popular new government, provides the necessary condition to realize the President's vision for the country. Let us help build our nation. Give your share by paying your taxes correctly and promptly for a better tomorrow. Once again, I am Dr. Victor B. Endriga, and this is TaxTV, a taxpayer's guide to Philippine taxation. Thank you for watching.
For comments, questions, and suggestions on our topic today, you may email us at taxtvph@gmail.com, and Dr. Victor Endriga will gladly answer your queries.